I don't know if we're actually live. We are actually live. All right. Hello, guys. How are you all doing? For people that are going to be watching this as a video after the stream, hello to you guys as well. We're going to be doing part 3 of our tier list. As you can see, we made it quite a ways through. We got a decent amount here left. I think we got some bangers this stream here. We got Qyburn coming up. Also, for people that have not watched part 1 or part 2, or you're just seeing this video or stream, this is based off the books, not the TV show. So certain characters in the book series do not have as big of a role. And also in the book series, some characters have way more of a role. So it's quite a different thing when you look at it from that point of view. A couple things that I saw in comments looking at either the posted after last week's stream. Some characters on here that are not like in the book series, we just put them in D. Some characters from the first stream, hi Jim as well, and sounds good. But we kind of redid some. So the Mountain was a character that was originally an A in the first part, and then the second part, we kind of decided he didn't deserve to be an A. We did a revote, and he went to C. There was another character, I think Mord, in here that went down to D as well. Any other characters? We may do another one for Walder Frey, because I think Walder Frey being an S tier, I don't know, kind of seems a little sus, but it's all right. But yeah, that was kind of the things I wanted to talk about. A lot of people, some other people thought that Catelyn should not be an A, but I think it's a good spot, and I'm someone that doesn't like Catelyn for the most part. But yeah, I think she deserves to be an A. She's pretty impactful to the story. Hi, Alice Stack. How are you? And Stannis will, if we get done with the tier list in this stream, he will be at the very end of the stream. Or it'll probably be in the next one. I don't know if we're gonna have a part 4. I don't know. It depends how long it takes to get through these. Hi, Sidro. How are you? Glad you made it early in time. I mean, you're early in general because I start streams 5 minutes early. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just some person in my life where I like to be early on things. I don't know. We'll chalk it up to anxiety, I guess, for not being late. I don't know. But we're going to start the poll with Qyburn. I'll probably let this one go longer than I do most of the ones throughout the stream. Just based upon the fact that, you know, waiting for people to get in here a bit and all that. How are you, Evie? As well, how are all you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well on this Friday. It's the first time I think I've ever streamed on a Friday, which feels really weird. I was thinking about, like, because, you know, I just think about things I want to talk about on stream or whatever. And I was like, usually in the streams, I talk about sometimes what videos that I have ready for you guys for the next, or that week, right? So it's weird when Friday is my record day. So I recorded like 2 or 3 videos today, but like, I don't have them actually edited and all that stuff, so it's weird. It's weird setting off my like weekly clock. That's just weird. And then I finally have a Saturday off, so it's weird there too. So it's like, yeah, my whole like week time schedule is all messed up. That's good to hear, Evie. Also, where do you guys think Qyburn is? I think so far you guys got Qyburn and B. I think that's a fair ranking. I don't think Qyburn's an exceptional character or anything like that. I like turtles. Turtles are pretty... You know what? I saw a turtle today. Drop Shock Trooper. I actually did see a turtle today on my, like, park walk or whatever. I couldn't run today. I wanted to run, but I did calves and leg exercise yesterday, and we weren't running today. Let's just put it that way. Depends if he's a Dornish spy. That is true. If he is a Dornish spy, he needs to go up a little, but I don't know. I don't think so. But, yeah. I think B is a solid spot. We got C in here as well. I think B or C. I think either high end of C or low end of B. Hi, Liberty Stack. How are you? I'm good. Tired from a long week, but today wasn't as long as I'm looking forward to a relaxing weekend finally. Love to see that. Yeah, it's been kind of a long week just in general, I feel like. But now, like I said, my time clock all messed up now because I'm doing a stream on Friday, which I never do streams on Friday. And then, yeah, just workout stuff. I usually do my running on Friday, which I'm going to do tomorrow just because of leg stuff. It's just the weird schedule we're on right now. Weird schedule. But I'm really interested to see where you guys are going to put Rhaegar, because Rhaegar is a weird one where he's not actually in the story, unless you think he's like Mance or something like that, but he's really impactful to the story without being there. That's a one I'm really looking forward to, like where I think you guys are going to put it, or put him, because I think Robert Baratheon is going to be S tier, just because, let's go. Let's be honest. Bobby B, okay? Why is he rated so high? What do you mean, Liz? On Qyburn? Or is there someone else you're talking about, like Walder Frey? Because I want to preference this, right? The way I would be voting for this would be how good of a character are they when it comes to their impact to the story, their character arc and or development, and just overall impact. So my rankings for this would be different than someone else's. Someone else might be ranking this off of their favorite characters, the characters they like the most. So yeah. So for instance, right, if we were doing it that way on like what characters I like the most, this would be different. Like characters like Daenerys for me would not be an S, even though I would put her an S as like of importance and stuff like that. There's actually, I don't know if I would say a small community can, but people do. There are some people that believe Mance is Rhaegar. I think Order of the Green Hand believes that theory. But Order of the Green Hand, they have a lot of theories where I'm just not on board. Good things. Glad I made the stream. Also, check out my comment on your top 6 Targaryen video when you get the chance. You know what? I'll check it right now. I'll check it right now. I just want to see what you said. Let me go to this. In no particular order, my top 6 powerful Targaryens would be Aegon the Conqueror, Maegor the Cruel, Visenya, Jaehaerys, Daemon, and Aemond One Eye. And then that's a fair point about Bloodraven. That's something somebody else I think brought up in that video, which is something I agree with and I didn't really think of. But yeah, I would say I agree with your list. I think Maegor is one that I thought about putting in there, but I didn't. But now that I kind of look back and I see a lot of your guys' comments where it's like, yeah, he did have Balerion, and he was really powerful. He was a good sword fighter and stuff like that. So I think Maegor probably could be on that list as well. But yeah. Rhaegar is tough, very important character, but personally I don't like. We'll have to try to put some bias aside to put him as fair spot. Yeah, fair. Rhaegar is a tough one because to me, if you look at all the things I'm rating characters on, I don't think I'd put him in S. I'd probably put him in A. Mance's Benjen. Oh boy, Liam. Liam, you always come in here and got them wild theories, but I'm just like, I'm someone that like, there are a lot of YouTubers that have a lot of wild theories where it's like they could be true. Like I could see it, but I think it's unlikely. Where like there's like Order of the Green Hand, they have some wild theories. A lot of their theories stem from like R+L not being J, and they kind of do a lot of theories along that side of it. Preston Jacobs just in general has a lot of wild theories, but I respect it. His are very creative. Let's see, what are some other ones? I think like if I was gonna compare myself to someone on like the Song of Ice and Fire community, I'd probably say like All Shift X, because I feel like he doesn't have a lot of wild theories. He has a lot of more like just based off of what we know and stuff like that. And that's kind of where I would put myself when it comes into that kind of stuff. There's a theory for anything. Agreed, Liz. Trust me, being in this community and comments, I've heard wild theories. But why didn't Jon ever recognize him? That's my main thing with why Benjen would not be Mance, but yeah. I don't want to like Rhaegar. Or I don't want to like Rhaegar. That's fair. Tywin is a dusky woman. Fair. I could see it. House of Stag. Make a video on it. I want to see your reasoning. Okay, so Qyburn, we're gonna put Qyburn in. It looks like B. All right, I respect that. I think that's a good first ranking. Grey Wind. Okay, so this is my favorite direwolf. I think Ghost is a solid second, but I'm interested to see where you guys put Grey Wind. Okay, don't disrespect my direwolf here. I've seen some Tattered Prince is Rhaegar theories. Not really a fan of it, but it's interesting since George R. R. Martin mentioned the Tattered Prince in his latest blog as being important. I agree. I think the Tattered Prince was someone that I didn't think was gonna have a whole bunch of relevance, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Can someone update me on how the... So, last stream, Hugo, we did a poll because I think a lot of people disagreed with the mountain being an A, which is something I also disagreed with. And so we did a re-polling, and he went from A to C. Like, I did S, A, B, C, and people... It was like... It wasn't even close either, which was something that was really surprising me. He went to C. Hey, Matthew, how are you? Glossy, we have not gotten to Rhaegar yet. I was speculating where I thought they would go. He's still here. I'll go down. This character here is Rhaegar from the show, like the picture. So we'll talk about him in a second. But where do you think he should go, Glossy? I was thinking probably A. I was thinking A, or I could see S, but I would say A. Can we let Rhaegar rest in peace? Agreed. I think Rhaegar, he's dead. All right, he's not coming back. Grey Wind is instant S for being a good boy that could smell the Frey treachery and tried to warn Robb. Agreed. That was okay. So my thing when I did, so I have 2 videos that are some of my favorites on the channel that I have ever done. It was the Catelyn chapter before the Red Wedding, and then also the Red Wedding. And I think it's really interesting the subtle foreshadowing we get with Grey Wind. It's some of my favorite kind of foreshadowing that George gives us for the Red Wedding. I thought the ranks were perfect before. Yes, Liam. Maybe they thought you thought they were, but democracy spoke, okay? Just like how Sansa became the best Song of Ice and Fire character in a stream, the mountain was removed. Sorry I missed the last stream. I was binge watching Stranger Things. Don't worry about it, Matthew. Don't worry about it. I've heard it's pretty good. I'm not a Stranger Things person. I have not watched any of it. I've heard it's really good, but yeah. Grey Wind is such a good boy. Agreed. Grey Wind, top tier. My favorite direwolves are Ghost, Grey Wind, and Shaggy Dog. I agree with all of you on that, Evie, except Nymeria. I just like Nymeria's name. I think it's a really good name. And she also, bit Joffrey, so like, come on. But yeah, Grey Wind is A, definitely not S. Liberty Stag, you're breaking my heart. Just like that emoji that Liz put down, you're breaking my heart. Rhaegar is so hard for me. I have a love-hate relationship with him. Yeah, I agree. Like, Rhaegar to me is such an intriguing character, but I don't like him particularly. I just think he's really intriguing. I think, like, studying him, we're really going through some of my favorite videos on the channel now on this stream, but I did one of my Rhaegar analysis videos where I went through, like, Rhaegar's life and his motivations. Was one of my favorite videos to do because he's such a complex and interesting character for being one that literally isn't even in the story, which is something that I think George does a really great job of. Robb wouldn't listen. Sometimes Robb just doesn't listen, man. That's all I gotta say. I love Robb, but sometimes he does not take advice well. But sometimes he does. I don't know. He's all over the place. All right, let's move on. Grey Wind is going to be an A. For the people that put Grey Wind in B, you are monsters to society. You know what? Grey Wind's going at the top. Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to change it here. You're either in Ghost tier, Grey Wind tier, or Shaggy Dog tier. Now, if you guys had done what I wanted you to do with putting Lady in C, we would have had Lady tier. See? Everything comes together. Why is Ed Sheeran even in the list? Because whoever made this Game of Thrones TV show list was drunk. That's why. I don't even know why. Even if you were like doing a Game of Thrones TV show list, why would you put Ed Sheeran on it? Like, he's not even a character. But yeah. Let me make the next poll and then I'll answer some of your guys' comments. So we're doing Bronn next. Now remember, this is Bronn from the book series, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. I think Bronn is still a cool character within the books, but again, the show, he's much better. It's something another person pointed out to me on my video I uploaded, I think, yesterday, right? About the top, like, changes from books to show on characters. Bronn definitely should have been on there. I just completely forgot about him. But Rhaegar is Ghost. That's fair. You like Grey Wind more than Ghost. Ouch. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I like Grey Wind's name. I like the way he looks. Robb's my favorite of, like, the Starks for the most part, so it's kind of how it happens. Exactly. He's so mysterious, and I find him very interesting. Like, I want to know more so bad, but I can't ignore all the consequences of his seemingly stupid actions. Agreed. Completely agreed with you on that. When Robb makes mistakes, we just blame that on his Tully blood. Agreed. The theory that Rob wore to Nagreya during the Red Wedding is a theory I definitely agreed. That is one of my favorite theories, Liberty Stack. So that I was first getting into, when I was first getting into Game of Thrones, so I would say for the most part, I did not watch Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire content on YouTube until the end of season 5. When Jon dies, I started looking into, like, is he actually dead and stuff like that, and getting people's, like, predictions and stuff like that. So I went to, like, oh, what's the guy's name? I think it's, like, Emergency Awesome used to make videos on Game of Thrones, and all Shift X. Those are the main two, Red Team Review. And I started, like, watching those, and that was one of the first theories I ever, like, popped onto. And that theory is heartbreaking. that is a heartbreaking theory. The damn Tully blood, agreed. Bronn, you love Bronn? Okay, fair. I think Bronn's a weird one for me because, like, again, a lot of you know that I watched, like, the earliest parts of the show before I ever watched the books, so I liked Bronn subconsciously more because I watched the show. Damn, y'all are throwing the Tullys under the bus like that. Of course we are, Glossy. This channel, I think there's two things that I think I've learned from the community we have. Most people don't like the Tullys on this channel anyway, and that everybody loves the Baratheons, no matter what it is. Like, if we do castles, if we do, like, family, or, like, what was not family, or the best house, or we do best character, Baratheons always do well. Book Bronn is just based for naming his son Tyrion. That's true. Bronn just gone after Storm of Swords. Yeah, that's true. He is just gone, which is something I think is the show I think did better by keeping him included, but yeah. I'm throwing Tully name under the bridge and down the river. Yep. I can't accept that Walder Frey is ranked higher than Doran Martell. I agree with you, Hugo. Maybe, okay, Hugo, for justice, maybe later on in the stream, we'll redo Walder Frey, see if he gets placed in that still. I agree with you on that one as well, Matthew. Okay, where'd you guys put Bronn? Ooh, it's close. We're gonna go B. Okay, something else stream. I've decided that I'm going to try and grow out the facial hair. So if you see me in a stream and I'm complaining about the facial hair, don't give me no cop-outs, okay? We're not shaving, at least till 3 weeks. At least 3 weeks till we get out of, like, the irritating phase. Do you actually think Renly is gay in the books? I think so. I think it makes sense when you look at Marjorie's character and all that. I think so. And I just think the way Renly lived his lifestyle, maybe, I don't know. He was kind of flashy. I could see it. And he also said the Rainbow Guard too, which I feel like maybe was foreshadowing from George. We didn't get to Oberyn, right? We already did get to Oberyn. I think the last stream, he is in S tier. He's right there at the top. Blackfish is awesome. Edmure is underrated. Other toys, unless you go back to the answer, Matt. Agreed. Oberyn is yes. Okay, so this is a tough one. Hodor. Where do you guys got Hodor? Like, definitely more interesting than Bran. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Definitely more. I like Hodor more than I like Bran. And Bran's in what? A? B? Where's Bran? Yeah, he's in A. And they got this weird picture of Bran on the tier list. Yikes. Look at this man. Look at Bran. I forget what this guy's name was. Like Isaac something. But this picture, that's just a frightening sight. Can you imagine? You're having a nice sleep, okay? You're just having you just got done getting off work, you're getting a nice sleep, and your alarm clock goes off. And you just see that. This picture right here. This Bran picture looking above you. Like, yikes. Yikes. Hodor is a gentleman. He holds the door. That's correct. Hodor does have some of the I about combined some things. Hodor does have some of the most flowery dialogue in the books. Agreed. Do you think Hodor is a Frey? His name is Walder, and half-wits run in Frey blood. No, I do think he's definitely part giant. I could see him being like a descendant of like a wildling. Like maybe a wildling or like a Northman and like a giant or something. I could see that. For Tully's, Edmure and Blackfish are good. Hoster, I don't know. And Cal and Lysa are bad. And for Baratheon's, Robert Stannis and Shireen, good. And Renly, bad in my opinion. You know what's funny? Even though Renly is like kind of the almost catalyst to Stannis' character early on, I still like Renly. I think Renly is a cool character. I think Renly is a good contrast from Stannis, being like the opposite. I think he's a really good character in that sense. I was so sad Hodor died in the show. I'll be honest, Stevie. In the show, I just didn't care about Bran. Like, I just didn't care about it, and I was like, Hodor's dying for Bran. Like, this is just... and then Bran, like, mind-fucking, basically, Hodor. Like, I just wasn't about it, dude. I was like, dude, I felt bad for Hodor. I was like, don't die for Bran. For Bran? Like, ugh. But, yeah, I was sad that he died, though. Protect Hodor at all costs. This is what we must do. Okay, it's pretty close here. Pretty close. I think Hodor is going to be an A with Bran. And out of spite, Hodor right above Bran. Because that's where he should be. Hodor has some of the best lines in the entire series. Agreed. My favorite part of the show is when Hodor said, "It's Hodor time." It holds the door. Bran treatment was yeah, agreed. Bran was just a dick in this show. I didn't like Bran. I don't like him in the books either, but I hate him way more in the show. All right, lads, we've got the High Sparrow, everybody's favorite villain. What do you guys think for the High Sparrow? Because if you don't put him in S tier, then do you get shamed? S for shame? No, please don't put the High Sparrow in S. He's not an S character. There's no way we're putting High Sparrow above Catelyn or someone like Catelyn, Ramsay, Euron, Samwell, Sansa. Like, there ain't no way. B, okay, so far the early voting I agree with. Don't you, okay, y'all be memeing sometimes when I say stuff like, oh yeah, put him in S, and then you actually just start voting for him in S. Like, stop that. I absolutely hate the stupid time travel plot with Hodor. It breaks internal logic of the universe in ways GRM doesn't seem to understand. Agreed. Okay, so this is what I think is so funny. So me and then my two friends, I say this a ton, I reference this a ton, but we are in episode 1, or we haven't started it, but we're in the beginning of season 7, basically. And one of the things that I remember my one friend telling me, he's like, wow, I can't wait to see, like, this opens up a new possibility with, like, time travel and stuff with Bran. And here's me sitting here going, like, yeah, no, they're never going to use that again, don't you worry. Like, I don't understand why they would introduce that, but then never use it again. Why wouldn't you just be like, I just don't understand. Like, it was a cool in theory, but it's like, why would you never use it again? I don't know. Hi, I love the guy who finally took Cersei down. Agreed. I kind of felt bad for Cersei because you can tell she's got a lot of mental shit going on, but at the same time, like, she kind of deserved it. Yeah, 100% agree with what you said about Renly. I still dislike him, but definitely agree with him being a good contrast to Stannis' character. Agreed. And the thing is, like, I don't even, like, hate Renly. I think Renly is, like, he is someone that should not have become, like, he shouldn't have made himself king. I think he should have just backed Stannis. But at the same time, I kind of respect him at the same time. I'm like, you know what? The guy's a hustler. You know, he gets the High Garden, like, you got the Tyrells, like, involved and all that. He was, I think, going to be a good king. So, I don't know. Why are the reads so low? Jojen's dialogue is amazing and both are fascinating. Where do we have him in here? Where are the reads? Hold on. So many characters on here now that I'm starting to forget which ones we've done and which ones we haven't. Jojen and Mira are in B. I'm gonna be honest. Any characters involved with Bran outside of Hodor, like, you're B. I'll be honest. Like, I think Jojen and Mira, they're fine characters, but they're very, I feel like, low impact to the story at the moment. I don't find them the most interesting characters. I like Jojen and, like, their story about, like, the Night of the Laughing Tree and all that stuff. That's cool. But outside of that, I mean, you know, I don't know. They need to add more drama and events with Bran's adventure beyond the wall. I almost like how Frodo and Sam's journey to Mordor in Lord of the Rings. That would have made Bran's story way more interesting. I'm gonna be honest, Matthew. I don't know if it would. I didn't like after Bran leaves Winterfell. I didn't care about his story. Like I was just like, okay, whatever. Maybe it would have made it better, but at the same time, like, I kind of enjoyed them being gone for an entire season. The Faith is the worst religion in the books. I think the High Sparrow dies and wins. Agreed. 100%. I think he has to die. Or maybe, like, he doesn't die, but, like, he just is sent away. I don't know. Damn, I keep missing streams. I've been working a lot more lately and going straight to sleep when I get home. No worries, Jaharis. No worries. By the way, Jaharis, I've been reading about your reign in Fire and Blood. I've been reading that a lot more. I'm trying to get closer to the Dance with Dragons so I can, you know, do all the videos on that stuff. Also, I will say, doing a House of the Dragon video next week, it's a weird one because it's like I kind of talk about the trailer, then I talk about some other things revolving like what the directors said because they've been saying some sketchy stuff like outside of the actual show, which is weird, but yeah. So that'll be up next week as well. I think hopefully that should be a good video, but yeah. Exactly. Time travel is a terrible idea in most fiction, especially if it's not something that will be used or mentioned more than once. It creates huge plot holes. Agreed. Something that like Marvel I think is doing wrong is after Endgame they keep trying to get bigger and it creates more and more plot holes. Right? Like I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about Thor Love and Thunder if you guys haven't seen it yet, but there's something in the movie that is just mind-boggling to me because it's like it just doesn't make any sense for that to be there when other characters could have used it. If you've seen the movie, I feel like you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. Also just shaved off all my facial hair yesterday. So many funny coincidences that now that you're growing out your beard, yeah. I don't know how much I'm actually going to grow it out, but we'll see. That has happened to me too a lot. Oh, yep. Jojin has a great nickname. He does. Good old Jojin Paste. Jojin Paste is definitely a thing. I'm just saying. It's definitely a thing. All right. Hi, Sparrow. You're going into B. By the way, this is why there's 4 parts of it, because I stopped talking about, like, I started talking about other things and don't focus on the actual tier list. I don't even know how you spell Jaqen. Oh, boy. We're gonna go with that. I feel like that might be right. Maybe there's probably an apostrophe somewhere or something, but we'll just do that. What do you guys think on Jaqen? I feel like Marvel kind of got shitty after Endgame. I agree. I was watching a really good like analysis of Marvel, right? Talking about kind of like the descent of Marvel, where it's kind of going through like it goes through like all the phases of Marvel. So it's gone through like phase 1 and going through like how much money each movie made. Something I never realized is that I can't believe Iron Man 3, which, okay, I know it's kind of a divisive movie, for me, is one of my least favorite movies, but it made more money than Captain America, Winter Soldier, and I think Civil War. That's amazing to me. Which, it goes to show, like, because Iron Man 3 comes out directly after Avengers 1, and Avengers 1 did, for the time, one of the best movies at that time. And, like, you can see how much of the popularity of that movie went into Iron Man 3. Like, no matter what your thoughts are, it was not, like, the best movie in the world for a majority of the audience. But it still made, like, over 1 million, or over 1 billion in sales, I think, or ticket sales. I'm not even going to watch House of the Dragon, to be honest. Yeah, I am going to, because it's my favorite time period. But, you know, and I still have very high hopes for it. I think it's going to be very good. I was so disappointed with Arya's first 2 names. Fair. Marvel's is in a yikes phase right now. Agreed. I think I'm of the opinion that I'm going to probably stop watching Marvel movies. Love and Thunder was kind of my last, like, I went into the movie kind of with an open mind, but also in the back of my mind thinking, okay, this is kind of the last movie where I'm like, if I don't like this movie, I'm probably not going to watch any more of the Marvel ones, because my favorite character in Marvel was Captain America. And I didn't particularly like Iron Man, but I liked the contrast between like him and Captain America. I made a lot of the like later on movies a lot more interesting, and a lot of that like things. And I think Marvel has started to very much get into kind of the political stuff, and I'm just not down for that. It's not really what I'm wanting to go into. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna be very skeptical going into it and not getting my hopes up. That's fair. That's a fair probably what I should be doing, but I kind of have high hopes for it. I think if they do it even somewhat right, it should be good, right? Because it's something that's very similar to Game of Thrones. I talk about this in the video I do next week. Is that when you look at Game of Thrones season 1 and what House of the Dragon should be in season 1, where it's kind of like you have the old people ruling, right? You have Robert ruling, or you have Viserys ruling, and then you have kind of a fallout, which then leads to war, and then kind of fighting over the crown. It's a very similar story, just with dragons. We are talking the characters in the books. Hold on. What comment did I miss here? I'm still not sure what Jaqen was doing in King's Landing. I don't either, if you want me to be honest. Maybe I'll do a video on that, but I gotta do some research. I still don't know, because I've had my friends ask me that same question, which is something that I was like, wow, they picked up on that pretty quickly. But when I was rewatching God, I realized that Jaqen is played by the actor who plays Enzo in Stranger Things, and my mind got blown. Well, that's crazy. I didn't know he was in that either, actually. Even though I haven't watched it, I just haven't like seen him, I guess, in anything. Jaqen was there to assassinate Ned on the way to the wall. It's possible. I'm just over here being sad that DC's attempt at an expanded universe has been garbage, because I always like their comics and animated shows more. Good standalone movies, though. I've always been a Marvel boy, I'll be honest. I mean, I was kind of raised in the Marvel movies, but I've always been a Marvel boy outside of DC. Or not DC. Why did I just say DC? Outside of Batman. I've loved, like, I know it's basic, but, like, I loved Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan's, like, Batman. Those are some of my favorite, like, movies of all time. Like, The Dark Knight is probably in my top 5. I'm too excited for House of Dragon. Me too, Glossy. All right, let me see what you guys think here. You guys have got Jaqen in A. It was pretty close. It was pretty. It was close, but all right. That'd be tough for me. I think I'd be split too. I think either high B or low A for me on that one. All right, Viseryon. What do you guys think on good old Dragon Boy Viseryon? Now, I want you guys to remember, Rhaegar got B, Drogon got A. So, yeah, just remember that. Jaqen is after Dragonlore. That is correct. But why would he go to King's Landing for Dragonlore? I feel like that would not be the place. Rip Chadwick Boseman, yeah. It really sucks, because I loved him as Black Panther, and I thought he did a really good job. But I don't know who they're giving Black Panther to now. I don't care enough to look into the Marvel stuff anymore. I hope it's not. I didn't particularly like his sister, which I know maybe might be a low opinion, so I kind of hope she's not the new Batman, but I feel like it might be going that way, because Marvel's like making all female characters now. They're like, what they're doing, which I think is weird, is they're making the Avengers, but just all female this time. It's weird. It's very weird. I feel like they've run out of ideas, and they're kind of just reusing the same stuff, but I'm not going to get into it. Dark Knight trilogy is great. I agree. I think Dark Knight trilogy is fantastic. I will say, though, something that I know is bad is that the last Batman movie that came out, I wasn't a huge fan of it. And I know why I don't like it. It's because I'd hold the Dark Knight trilogy up to such a high pedestal that I like subconsciously compare the Batman movie, and it's something that's I try not to do, but I know it's something I do, that I like kind of compared the new one with Robert Pattinson, to those like older ones, and I just it doesn't do the same thing for me. How on earth is he A? Definitely C tier. I would say I'd say B. If I was voting, I'd say B. I think like he is an interesting character, and he's kind of the face of the you know, the whole group. Okay, the Faceless Men. S for being a dragon. I disagree. I disagree. Agreed, Can. Agreed. Their whole thing on the show is like they had to get rid of dragons and they didn't know how to. Danny Glover as Black Panther. Fair. What do you guys think here? So you guys have... Oh, it's tied for B and C for Viseryon. Okay, we're going to just end it now because B just took over. So B is where Viseryon is going to go. We're going to put Viseryon right next to Rhaegar. All right, now we have the one I've been waiting for because I'm very interested to see what you guys think is Rhaegar. Oh, I definitely just spelt his name wrong. There we go. S, A, B, or C. What do you guys think on Rhaegar? Let me know what your reasoning for why you're putting Rhaegar in a certain tier. The only good dragon is a dead dragon. You sounded like a maester, House of the Stag. You're sounding like a maester, and we don't like maesters here. Brad Pitt, best actor. Brad Pitt is a fantastic actor. I always pictured Aegon the Conqueror being played by a younger Brad Pitt. See, I always picture the Targaryens as being more like I guess kind of like how the elves are, where they're in Lord of the Rings, where they're kind of like this upper, like almost angelic looking like characters. So to me, Brad Pitt's more of like the soldier type guy, right? Like I can see him as like a Baratheon or something like that, but I don't know about any of the Targaryens really. House the the Stag is out here sounding like the shepherd. Agreed. Maybe he is the shepherd. You don't know. Maybe he's taking on that lifestyle. A part of me feels this universe doesn't deserve any more views or profit after the ending of God. You know, I can agree to you on a certain point, but like if House of Dragon is genuinely good, like I'm pretty okay with it. Rhaegar kind of a menace to society. Rhaegar does pull a lot of fuck shit. Liam, I have seen the new House of the Dragon trailer. I had like some mixed feelings on it, on the idea that they give a lot away when it turns to like plot reasons and stuff like that. They gave a lot away. Like I know what's gonna happen. So again, I don't care, right? Because I know what's going to happen for the most part. Also, Night Citro. Hope you have a good one. Oh wait, I read that completely wrong. I saw the like bed man. Then I was like, oh okay, he's going to bed. So I'm like, yeah, I'll say whatever. Okay, not the point. I just can't read. But by the way, don't feel bad for being late, Young Wolf. You're good. Getting back to the trailer. I am someone that in my trailers I like to see enough to that I know what's going on, but it doesn't give everything away, right? Where like things like Rings of Power gives nothing away. I have no idea what's going on in Rings of Power. If I didn't know what happens in the second age of Lord of the Rings, I'd have no idea what the fuck was going on. Like Lord of the Rings, like the Rings of Power is like, let's show you a bunch of places and characters saying random nonsense that we don't even know what the plot's about. Like we know there's like some threat or something. Like okay, it's a Lord of the Rings show. There's probably going to be a threat. Like this isn't groundbreaking. Like it's called Rings of Power, but yet we haven't really seen Sauron. It's like I don't know, man. I don't know. Who do you think killed the dragons the last time around? Well, you can find out in my like 4 to 5 part series about how the Maesters killed the dragons. That was God, I love that series. I always plug that series, but I love doing that series. I want to revisit that series because I think I can make those videos with higher quality now, but I'm gonna wait till after House of the Dragon, I think. The universe doesn't deserve to suffer just because the got showrunner shit the bed, man. That's true. I'm a softie for romance, so I voted A for Rhaegar. That's fair. So far, you guys are thinking A, but it's a very mixed bag right now, so I might let it go for a little longer. I put him in B because he is important to the story, but I don't like him. That's fair. I low-key agree, Hugo. Okay. All right. Rhaegar for S. Interesting character whose actions provide major impact on the plot, even for years after his death. I can also see that reasoning. I think they should reboot everything, not make more sequels based on the ending of Game of Thrones. That should be a crime. I think the problem was I don't think a lot of people would rewatch Game of Thrones. Like I don't think they would if they rebooted Game of Thrones. Would you watch it? Would the casual fan watch it? They know everything that's gonna happen outside of like after season 4. I don't think you'd have enough like people like involved enough to do that. But I hate Rhaegar. That's fair. True, but every time I watch someone reacting to the trailer, they all thought that it will be Rhaenyra versus Daemon. Well, okay, I can see that, right? I can see that, but I don't know. Like, I feel like it should be so obvious. Like, maybe that's me having hindsight, but like, Alicent literally like comes at Rhaenyra with a dagger, basically, and then we see like there's foreshadowing that like they're not friends anymore, and Alicent's marrying the king, which again was in the trailer. We know that's gonna happen, even like not knowing information that I know. And then there's also the whole idea that, you know, a woman can't sit the Iron Throne, which, again, I don't believe in because I wish Rhaenyra would have gotten it. But, I don't know. I feel like it should be kind of obvious that it's kind of someone else. But again, I can also see why it would be why people would think it would be Daemon versus Rhaenyra. At the end of the new House of the Dragon trailer, that's dragon you see at the end. Do you think it's Sunfire? I'm gonna be honest. I haven't looked enough to actually know if that's Sunfire. I didn't even like pay attention enough to. Okay, so you guys are thinking. Okay, so you guys are saying that expecting it to be Daemon versus Rhaenyra. All right, or like people are thinking that. I didn't get that vibe out of it, but that's probably because I already have like knowledge of what's gonna happen. I guess trailers equal spoilers. Yep. That's CG Harris. That's why my friends, so they had watched the teaser trailer. The teaser trailer doesn't really reveal much. It kind of just shows what's going on, I guess. Like I think the teaser trailer, which isn't that long or whatever, did a better job than both the Rings of Power trailers have done. But that first initial teaser trailer, my friends watched and they thought it looked really cool. And I told them that I was like, yeah, don't watch the other trailer. I don't want you to see some of the things going on. I want you to have like a fresh mind, and like the only knowledge you know is that it's going to be similar to Game of Thrones in the first season. I'm not gonna lie, all the dragons look the same to me. I indicate how you differentiate them. I'll be honest, I didn't think the dragons looked great. I thought they looked fine. I think they were serviceable, but I don't think they looked great in the trailer. But yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming with there, Glossy. We're gonna put Rhaegar in A. I think that is a fair ranking. I think that's where I would put Rhaegar. That is an interesting one. Now, I think it's hilarious that Rhaegar and Bobby B are right next to each other. I'm interested to see where guys are gonna put him as well, because I think Robert Baratheon, I talked about it in my video yesterday, was someone that was very much heavily impacted because of the show. I think Robert Baratheon was much better in the show. What they should do is an animated series of A Song of Ice and Fire that is as faithful of an adaptation as possible. That would be really cool. I'd actually be really down for that. I think that's a different way of doing it that's not the same. And I think there would be some interest for it. It wouldn't be a ton of expense. It wouldn't cost a ton of money to make it as an animated series. I think it's a really good idea, Liberty Stack. I think that'd be a great idea for them to do. I was happy to see Aemon One Eye in the trailer. That's true. That was good to see him as well. How is Pod B? People like Pod. I don't know what to tell you, Liam. I don't know. People watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. That is true, but I mean, like, when you look at it from the idea of 70-something hours of a TV show that like, the first half of that is not going to change, right? Whereas Zack Snyder's Justice League, like, his cut was it was basically a completely different movie. So that's how I look at that. Team Black all the way for House of Dragon. That's right, Evie. That's right. That's right. If you're not Team Black, go away. I'm joking, but Team Black, I'm definitely a Rhaenyra fan. Crushes in House of the Dragon, Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra, that's it. No other crushes. Not Alicent. None of the. No, Rhaenyra. I don't bother watching trailers for shows and movies I know I'm going to watch. That's fair, J. Harris. I don't really do that anymore. I used to do that a lot more because I feel like they didn't really spoil as much back in the day. Like, it was just a good trailer. But I think so many trailers now are misleading, especially if you're looking at, we'll go back to Marvel. Trailers are very misleading and give you a false expectation of what you think the movie is going to be based off the trailers when that's not what it is. The Doctor Strange movie that came out is a perfect one of that. Everything circling around about Doctor Strange was it was going to be a cameo filled. We're going having an adventure through all these different places when in reality that's not even close to what the movie was. So that's really, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one, J. Harris. Why does it seem that everyone supports the Blacks and thinks Rhaenyra should win? I have never seen a single Greens fan. I have, but I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be honest. So Rhaenyra should have been, by all rights, the queen. Viserys names her the queen, or the heir. She's the first in line. It's made quite clear that Rhaenyra should take the crown. Now, the Greens kind of do some, back shitty stuff. And then the Greens also are the first people to kind of kill kids, which prompts what we see happen after that. Right? So I think the Greens initially, because they are the one that kind of play dirty, are the reasons I think a lot of people do not like them for the most part. I hate to say it, but Allison and Kristen, I swear I'm Team Black though. Glossy, you're walking that fine edge. Well, technically they are at the beginning because he's only male heir after Viserys, but when the Greens take power, he has a better chance of becoming king, allying with Rhaenyra. Yes, so yeah, he is definitely against Rhaenyra at the beginning, and he then goes over to Rhaenyra's side, really for power. I think it's going to be interesting to see if they explore the idea of, did Daemon marry Rhaenyra because there was actually some attraction there? I know Rhaenyra probably loved him, and I think that's evident in the book, but I think in the book, it's also evident that Daemon was kind of using her for her power and her status. Best parts of the trailer, in my opinion, was that they kept true to the books with the heraldry and enshrouded armor at tourneys. Agreed. I think that's really good. I think they've done costume design and all that stuff. It's been perfect so far. We have Bobby B and S tier. I don't know. In the books, I don't think I'd have Bobby B and S tier. I think I'd have Bobby B and A tier, but I'm fine with that as well. Brendan Rivers or Blood Raven. Where do you guys have him? I think that's another tough one. We haven't seen a ton of him, so okay, I just spelled his name wrong again. We haven't seen a ton of him yet. We've seen, him in a couple Bran chapters here and there, but what do you guys think? I think impact-wise, he could have a huge impact on the story. The more we find out about him, the more we know what's going on. And then, but if you look at the story we have now, he's not been hugely impactful, so it's going to be interesting on that one. There seems to be animated shows in production, but no news on what it'll be. Interesting. Okay. Bobby B is asked, and there's no other answer. Fair. I think you heard they were making an animated show going over YT. Oh, maybe that. Okay, oh, yeah, that's true. That's what it is. But I think a better idea would be the animated show of Game of Thrones, because I don't think there's going to be much interest in that show. Personally, anyway. Once you go black, you can never go back. That's right. Once you're Team Rhaenyra, you're always Team Rhaenyra. Even after the shit, yeah, we're just gonna leave it there. Rhaenyra, she does some things, but you stay on her team the whole damn time. I wish more of Robert's bastards were in the show instead of Gendry being Robert's sole surviving child in the show. Agreed. I really like Edric Storm in the books. I kind of wish he'd been in there. I refuse to watch season 7 and 8 again. I'm rereading or I'm rewatching, right? I told my friends, I'm like, you guys, you can watch season 7 stuff. I'm gonna be like taking a nap or something. You wake me up if you have questions. But yeah. Believe Dunk and Egg is supposed to be in it. That'd be a really cool one too. I still haven't read the Dunk and Egg like books or whatever. But I'm gonna get into it. Once I get done with Fire and Blood, that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna read that. It blew my mind out to find out that Reek in Clash of Kings is Ramsay. Agreed. That was a really good twist. Really love that twist actually. I'm influenced with regards to Bloodraven from Fire and Blood stuff too. He's a super interesting and important character in post-Dance Targaryen history. Agreed. And that's what I think is hard about rating this character. It's another one like Rhaegar, where he's not really in the main story, like that we see of, right? He could be manipulating a lot of events. There's been a ton of theories on that. But from what we concretely know, doesn't actually have a lot of influence in the story, so it's interesting to see where you guys are gonna place him. Matthew, I would say both. Combine them in any way you would like. Why is Robert so popular? I'm a bit shocked. Hugo, me too. I think Robert Baratheon is such an interesting and tragic character. He's like Stannis in that way, but I think the show elevated his popularity for one, because Mark Addy did a great job as the character, and it is exactly who Robert Baratheon really is in the time that A Game of Thrones starts. And one thing that I love about Robert Baratheon is we see he's this badass warrior, great military mind and commander, and after Robert's rebellion, he becomes kind of hollow, right? Because he kind of had this love of what Lyanna could have been and not for who Lyanna was. And that's something that kind of haunts him, and it makes him turn towards things like alcoholism. He's a terrible husband to Cersei. He's a very tragic character, where he's not exactly a good character, but he is a morally complex character. Very similar to the way Rhaegar is, but just not to the big extent of Rhaegar gets tons of people killed. Robert Baratheon technically does. I don't know. Okay. Dunk and Egg gives you more insight about Bloodraven. Yes, that is correct, Liam. That's what I'm excited about when getting to Dunk and Egg, because I've done a lot of research on Bloodraven, like through the wiki and kind of some of his stuff going on. So I know like a good amount about Bloodraven, but I actually haven't read the actual book. I'm not a green supporter nor a black supporter, to be honest. I'm divided and sympathize with both parties, and sometimes prefer green and sometimes prefer blacks. See, I agree. I can see where you're coming from, because I don't blame the Greens, right? I know exactly what the Greens are doing. The Greens wanted to gain more power, and logically, it made sense on the moves they were making and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think the blacks were morally in the better, like they were morally correct. So I'm kind of more with them. Robert is popular because he's a Giga Chad that killed Rhaegar. Gods, he was strong, man. That's true. To me, Robert was just a bloodthirsty drunkard. Yes and no, because there are things that go into why he becomes a drunkard and why he becomes a bad king. And yeah, he was a maiden's fantasy. Agreed. Best couple, Cersei and Jaime. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Yes, a great warrior, but he let us down as a king. That is true. Liam, no. Liam, absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah. Juan, Robert is like a Maradona. Was the best in his field and a mess in the rest of stuff. Agreed. All right, we are going to put him in A. I think that is a fair ranking, right next to Rhaegar. And now we have Cal. Good old Cal. I can't believe Jason Momoa went down to a little cut. I think Cal's death to me has always been interesting, and I guess the leading up to his death more, because it's just so interesting the way like you look at it as like, was he poisoned? Was he just kind of an idiot and didn't follow the doctor's directions, which then ended up him killing himself, basically. Very intriguing, but Khal Drogo, basically the Dothraki version of Robert Baratheon and Robert's Rebellion, just like a big freaking dude that like you didn't fuck with. So, surprisingly, Rhaegar is widely praised and never talked poorly about by anyone other than Robert. He seems to have a very good guy, or he seems to be a very good guy, and Robert is mad with envy and hate for him. Well, the reason Robert hates him is because, well, in his mind, right? I mean, again, it's a thing of love makes you think and do weird things that you wouldn't normally do, right? If you've ever had a girlfriend or anything like that, you know this is true, right? If you've had an ex, you know this is true. But Robert kind of was just like, well, I guess the rest, I mean, I don't even know if the rest of the world thought Rhaegar kidnapped Lyanna for the most part. And Robert seeing as though that was his ideal woman, like the tomboy type, and Rhaegar's more or less responsible for why she dies. So that's why Robert hates her, or hates him. I always look back to that one scene between Cersei and Ned when she talks about Ned on how he could have just walked up those steps and taken the throne. I wonder how Ned would be as a king. I think Ned would actually be a fine king. I don't think politically he would have been the best. But I think Ned is someone that I don't think Ned would have kept people around like Varys. I think Varys would have been gone. Because that's just how Ned would have done things. But I think Ned would have been a fine king, personally. Also, I look back at that scene all the time as well, Matthew, because I have to insert a part of that into every video I do, as you guys know. But, yeah. I still don't know how I came up with that intro. It took a while, but I'm proud of that intro. At least the audio part of it. I'm eventually going to get someone to animate like a way better like visual intro and have the audio still. But yeah. Drogo was always a very interesting character that it would have been cool to have around longer and see more of him, but I understand why he needed to die for the story. Agreed. Who will be Dany's last betrayal? That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I could see her last one being someone like a Varys character, just because, or Varys or like a Lirio, more or less. But I don't know. I'm not completely sure yet. I'm just totally obsessed with Lena Headey, and her performance of Cersei is iconic. She's a villain you understand and love to hate. Is she like this in the books? Yes. For the most part, you understand why she does the things she does. Yeah, even in Feast for Crows, which is kind of her at her lowest, more or less. That you kind of sympathize for her, but when she gets her comeuppance, you kind of hear. It's a weird thing where like, I think yes. The short answer is yes on Cersei. I once saw a comment saying how it was interesting that Ned Stark never said anything bad about Rhaegar. It's because he knows the truth that Rhaegar and Lyanna were actually a couple and that Jon is Rhaegar's son. That's why. I think it's interesting, though, that there's that line. People always quote this line when they talk about why Rhaegar is not the father of Jon, is that Ned says like he hadn't thought about Rhaegar in like years, which to me was either a plot hole, 2, Ned was just drunk. Because like, how are you going to tell me you didn't think of the most influential character leading up to this point of history? I don't care what you say, because every time you think of your sister Lyanna, you're going to think about how Rhaegar took her away, right? And that's the reason she died. So every time you would think of Lyanna, in the back of your mind, you'd always still think about Rhaegar. Not only that, Robert's Rebellion, one of the biggest events. You're telling me you wouldn't think of Rhaegar within years? Again, plot hole. Even if like that was just a bad like statement to say, even if Jon's parents are not Rhaegar and Lyanna. All right, I'm getting so sidetracked. Okay, Khal Drogo's going in A. We have Jon Snow. Should I even make one? This one's obvious, okay? If Jon Snow is not an S tier, then y'all are drunk. I'm gonna just say how it is. If he's not an S, you're drunk. Let's keep going here. Hold on. Impression I got is that Robert wanted to believe that Rhaegar raped Lyanna because he couldn't accept that Lyanna went willingly. Nobody else seems to believe Rhaegar is a rapist. I can agree with that, yeah. I think Robert, in his mind, wants to believe that. Those 2 chapters are hilarious in the books in a dark way. She's just going more and more batshit insane, agreed. I think Cersei, like, we get so much of Cersei, right? I think I calculated she's like almost like I think her and Jaime combined in King's Landing is like a third of a Feast for Crows. And yeah, yeah. She goes down a dark road. Liz, Cersei in the books is pretty insufferable and she's a psychopath. I don't know, Liz. As a person, she's pretty horrible. But when we get POV chapters in her mind, I kind of like those chapters. I like seeing inside of her head, and I kind of understand why she's led to being a psychopath and kind of her decisions. Oh yeah, no. Anime, I 100% agree with you. I think book Drogo is way better than show Drogo was. But I do think Jason Momoa, again, was perfect casting. Drogon for Jon Snow. Yeah. The Tower of Joy scene always confused me. So are you talking about the show version of the scene, Glossy, or kind of the book events that we get? Like how I was talking about how Ned had not, heard or remembered Rhaegar in a while, because again, that doesn't make any sense. And I do think the Tower of Joy scene in Ned's like dream or whatever is also, I think, a little bit confused as well. I think there's some things we're missing there that we don't get. Varys would have him killed. No way he'd last as king. My thing is, though, I think Varys wouldn't allowed to have been like in a position of power. In my position, and in my opinion, I think he would have been out of it, because I think like Ned, being the guy that he is, would have been for justice, and Varys was clearly the one driving the Mad King insane, right? And I don't know. I think that he would have either been exiled or probably killed. Rhaegar cheated on Elia Martell and ran away with a teenager who was betrothed and knew this would cause conflict, but did it anyway and was obsessed with prophecy to an unhealthy amount. Agreed. Rhaegar was not a good dude. Like, Rhaegar, he was a very flawed individual, in my opinion. Book Cersei hotter than show Cersei. I agree with that. I won't believe R plus L equals J. Well, Liam, you're a man of a lot of interesting ideas, to say the least. So I wouldn't believe you too. I feel like people sugarcoat Rhaegar's actions. No, Rhaegar did some horrible shit. He was not a great dude. Rhaegar is borderline a villain. Like, let's put it that way. Rhaegar is almost as responsible for the war as Aerys, honestly. Yes, I agree. I think if the turning of Harrenhal, Aerys wasn't there, I think it would have gone a bit differently, but who knows. The Cersei prophecy is the biggest Cersei plot taken from the show, partly at least. Agreed. Yep, I mean, if he didn't or doesn't kidnap Lyanna, Bran, and Rickard would never have even went to King's Landing. Agreed. Jon and Val, I think, would make a good couple, and I think it is possible that they haven't, but I don't know about the best couple. Yeah, I meant the books. Okay, then agreed. Yeah, Gloss. Yeah, I agree with you then on that. Just started Fire and Blood. I love Fire and Blood, Young Wolf. I've really started to love that book specifically. Jon Snow in S tier. I don't think we thought that was going to be a little different or anything, but yeah. Let's do Qyburn half hand. I'm just going to put half hand. I'm gonna see where you guys put half hand as well. I think we get a little bit more of half hand in the books than we do the actual show. So I think he was someone that benefited from the books. I just don't think I don't think Robert wants to believe that Lyanna was captured or was kidnapped, but genuinely did believe she was, and it never even occurred to him that she may have gone like agreed Liberty Stag. People keep talking about best couples when it's clearly Quentin and Dragonfire. That's a good one. I will agree. That's a great couple right there. Great couple. Do you ship Jaqen and Rhaegar? What do you mean by that, Young Wolf? What do you mean by that? Who is the prince that was promised? It was Dolorous Ed. Oh my god. Oh my man. Is that why Dolorous Ed was in S for a long time? Dolorous Ed also got moved. Nobody really said anything about that, but he also got moved to, I think, B. Yeah, he's right there. Liam, it was Hot Pie. Fair. Tourney of Harrenhal F&B Part 2 predictions. What do you mean by that, Young Wolf? I'm confused by what you're saying there. Like, are you trying to say, like, what do I think happened at the Tourney of Harrenhal? If that is true, then I would say basically that the Knight of the Laughing Tree was Lyanna. There's a lot of evidence. I'm not going to go over it in this video because it's a pretty long theory. I have like 1 or 2 videos on it on the channel if you want to check those out. But more or less, Lyanna gets some armor and stuff from Benjen. And the reason she does this is because of Howland, who is there. He's kind of getting bullied by some of the people there. Lyanna, you know, being who she is, she's a good rider. We're told that. She basically comes into her own or whatever. And Rhaegar, because King Aerys wants to know who this person is, Rhaegar ends up finding her, and that's how they first meet. And it leads to some other stuff with Benjen and that, and all that. So that's some of the thing that I would say happens at Tourney of Harrenhal. Yeah, Rhaegar is definitely a very morally complex character in my opinion. Like, he's not a villain, but he's not a hero. He's not like how everybody like Barristan talks about him. He's not that character that Barristan thinks he is. How was Halfhand not commander of the Shadow Tower? That's a good point. that is a good point. But John Connington has a crush on Rhaegar. I can get behind that one actually. Young Wolf. John Con seems like he had some feelings more for Rhaegar than just a friend. If he almost feels like at times, so I can definitely get behind that. Rhaegar and Robb both died because of a girl. I wouldn't even go that far. I'd go Rhaegar died because he was just a prophecy invested idiot. I don't know, and he made bad decisions. Because Dennis Malister is a goat. That's also true. Yeah, that's a good point, Sidro. I know I'm gonna get shit on this for this, but I couldn't get behind Stannis until he went to the north. I'm with Davos. I don't like the Red Woman and Stannis worshipping the Red God. I don't think Stannis worships the Red God. I think Stannis goes along with it because Stannis knows that there is power there. And it's something the Seven have never given him or anything like that. Because you have to remember, Stannis was, brought up in the Seven, and look what happened to, like, his parents, stuff like that, his early life. The Seven really never showed any power to Stannis. So when you have this Red God or whatever, and you're seeing that there is at least some power there, he's going to use that. I don't think he buys into it, though. Melisandre is a lot more likable and stuff after her POV chapter. Agreed. My thing with that is, I just don't see Howland doing those things, Liam. Like, I don't see, like, Howland was already getting bullied, and he didn't stand up for himself. Lyanna is the one that stood up for Howland. Howland didn't stand up for himself. So what would get into Howland that he would, A, defeat a bunch of these people in jousting when he's not really a good horseman or anything like that. So I just don't see that. Also, Lyanna can probably get away with it because, again, she's a girl. Like, she's a woman. Like, maybe, like, she could get away with it, in my opinion. And also, Lyanna kind of had that nature of being a tomboy, kind of like doing whatever she wanted, not caring, so. Okay, Jairus. Okay. Also, we have a tie for A and B right now. So I'm going to need one more person to vote, either A or B. Stannis is playing the Iron Bank and the gods. That's true. That is true. Yeah, it shows when he speaks negatively of Elia. Agreed. Do you think Faceless Men will join Jon, or will kill Jon if he comes back since he can't pay back his loan? I mean, give Jon some time, okay? He's got until, you know, the end of the winter and all that, and to, you know, start paying back his loan. And, you know, say they defeat the White Walkers or whatever, and Jon's like, damn, kind of poor, can't pay you back, sorry. Yeah, basement, just take him out. He's gone. Howland is magical. He just came back from the Isle of Faces. That's true. Howland did, but like at the same time, it's like Howland's still a little bitch when it comes to like these other people like basically bullying. I mean, it's like, you know, it just like it doesn't fit Howland's character to me. I don't know. Agreed, Citra. Agreed. All right, we're gonna make an executive decision. I'm going to put Qyburn Halfhand in B. I don't think he's miles better than any of the characters in B, but at the same time on A, I don't think he's up to a lot of the POV characters that are in A or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and put him in B. I think that's the correct spot. I know Lyanna was in the crowd, but IDK, I think Lyanna could have been the Knight of the Laughing Tree. Agreed. I just think it makes sense narratively that Lyanna would become the Knight of the Laughing Tree. I just think it makes sense. Like, it makes sense to me on a lot of fronts when you look at what Benjen does after these happen. And again, I would look at my Knight of the Laughing Tree video that I did. I go a lot more into detail with how it makes sense that I don't really want to get into the video because I want to start trying to get through this poll a bit more. But, yeah. Joff. That's an interesting one. I think Joffrey, best villain in the entire book series. One of the best villains of probably all time. So I think he should be yes, but we'll see what you guys say. Patrice is the prince who was promised. Yeah, I can see it. No, Liz, I'm sorry, but he's just not as impactful as some of the characters in A, I feel like. Can we do a poll for the new House Targaryen words? Possibly. Crescent and Renly, best couple? Agreed. You know, I think Crescent and Stannis would be good. Tyrion was the Knight of the Laughing Tree? Yeah. I hate how Stannis went to the Iron Bank in the show with his tail between his legs, when in the books it was the Iron Bank who went to Stannis. Makes him seem like a Bear King begging for funding. Agreed. I agree with you on that, Citro. He's son Blackfish. No. Still can't get behind him. Believer or non-believer still couldn't get behind him. Fair. Y'all's death makes me smile even now. He agreed. I missed one fucking stream and y'all put Yoren and fucking B. I'm gonna be feasting on liver and fucking onions. Hey, Billy Bob. That was last stream. That wasn't even this stream. That was last stream. Tormund and Tormund. Yep. Low C for me. Okay. If you get death threats for acting well, you know you've done well. Agreed. Stannis is Lord of Salt and Smoke. Salt and Smoke, is he a ham? Yeah, one of the better lines, I think, of the entire thing. I love that line. Just based on our progress, I think there's going to be a part 4. We have not made a lot of progress in this stream, I won't lie. But we're filling her out. We're filling her out pretty good. All right, we are going to put Joffrey in S tier. That is what the poll has decided. Joffrey right up into S tier, right next to Jon. That'd be so funny. Canon would have impacted the whole thing a lot and would have been better for everyone. Asha predictions. So Asha right now is with Stannis at the moment. She is a prisoner. I don't think she's going to stay a prisoner though. I could see something where Asha eventually gets maybe released or something to those lines, whether that's because Stannis ends up dying or something along those lines. And I do think she could possibly be the legitimate person that ends up ruling the Iron Islands, but I'm not sure in between that time. She continues to cuck poor Tristram. Yup, agreed. Amiri Frey and Three Groomsmen, best couple, agreed. Hey, Billy Bob, it's just what happens, man. Sometimes you can't be there for every stream. All right, this next character, we're gonna just say the Children of the Forest just in general. Or do you guys want to put the Children of the Forest? I'll be honest, they're whatever. They're for me, this is like B. Like just don't care that much for them, but we're just gonna say the Children of the Forest. Because I wouldn't say any of the Children of the Forest in the books are like singularly out like that big to the story, but Blackball are in all Frey wives best couple. She dies by fire from Stannis. I don't think so. I think she's got more to her than that. Oh no, Liz. Oh no. Okay, but who's the worst couple? I feel like Ramsay and Jane Poole make a pretty bad couple. I think that's a pretty yeah. I think we're just gonna go with that. Ramsay and any woman alive. Let's go with that. What do you guys think? Worst couple? Cersei and Jaime are the worst couple. Hey, at least they liked each other. I mean. Worst couple, Bran and Hodor and Mira. Oh no. I didn't need that image in my head, Citra. Why did you? Y'all are disturbed sometimes. Sometimes. Y'all are disturbed. Oh no. Ellen Payne and Ned Stark, worst couple. That's a good one. Oh, Liberty Stag. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're getting dark in this one. We're getting pretty dark. Yep, that's another bad one, Quincy. That's another bad one. Worst couple. You know what? I can get behind that one, dude. Danny's going for the toxic fuckboys. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say on that one. Elia is my mother. How dare y'all, bro? Yeah, you tell him how it is, Glossy, because, yikes. Yikes. That's just a yikes. Danny and Jorah, best couple. Not in the books. Not in the books. Oh my god, that's dark. Worst couple, Tywin and Tysha. Oh no. You could have said like all the guardsmen in Tysha. That would have worked too. Oh no. We need to stop. Let's continue on. The Children of the Forest are B. Alright. Just continue on. I can't even see the bottom anymore because how many characters. Kevin Lannister. The most underrated Lannister. What do y'all think of Big Kevin? What y'all thinking about Big Kevin? I think big underrated character. I don't know how highly I'd put him on here. Tywin and Olenna, best couple. I can see it. Arya and the Sweetling. Oh no. Tyrion and Shay. Sorry, had to get something out. Okay, sorry. Joanna and Aerys the second. Yikes. Worst couple, Joffrey and Sir Pounce. You could have just said the catty mutilate. Sweet Robin and Bronn. Bronn's John always been. Oh no, we need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Y'all are going wild. Y'all have gone wild. God. This stream has gone to some dark places. Cersei and Tiana, fair. Billy Bob, I'm gonna act like I didn't see that message. I'm gonna act like that message didn't pop up on the screen. And we're just gonna act like that didn't pop up. You know, it's surprising. We have not had a single character go into C or D this stream. Jokes aside, Pretty Pia and Jasmine Peckleton are a nice couple. That is true. They are a nice couple. Sideshow. What an insightful comment. Kevin was actually going to be a good rule. Agreed. I opened a can of worms. Oops. Yes, you did. Yes. Yeah. Glossy, you took us down a dark path. Oh, and I didn't even see that. Matthew, we need to stop. We need to stop. We need to stop. Yeah, well, Liam, you did the best couple, okay? And the best couple was like, we had some stinkers or whatever, but like, then Glossy said the worst couples, and then things just spiraled out of control. Sometimes y'all worry me. Sometimes. Even though I guarantee you most of you guys are older than me, y'all worry me sometimes. All right, B. We're going to put B tier for Kevin. I feel like he might have been done dirty a little. I think I could argue him an A, but I'm cool with B tier. I'm cool with B. Oh my god, best couple Jon in the Mole Town, but oh no. Oh, we need to stop. Okay, Shireen. If one of y'all makes the joke Shireen and fire, you're done. You're done. You're done. If one of y'all says Shireen and fire or something like that, I'm gonna lose my knot. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Liam, you're not 14. Calm down. Out of the prostitute from Old Town. Oh no. Kevin, not even an A. Blasphemy. I agree, Citro. You are 23, Billy Bob. You got me by a year. I'm 22. You got me by a year. Jon and Ghost. I'm younger than you, Greaser. Really, Liberty? How old are you? No, well-deserved B. I don't know. I feel like he's an A. Stannis and Selyse, they were a great couple, okay? Solid S tier for Shireen. I don't know if I put her an S, but I think A is a good... She's the most wholesome character within the entire thing. We gotta stop, Young Wolf. We need somebody needs to just take your internet out. What's going on? Best couple, Ice and Fire. Okay, see, insightful comments like these, Matthew. There we go. There we go. Is it bad that the ones that making the worst ones here are the mods? I'm younger than 22. Fair. How is she an A, Liz? Well, you see, because Shireen is the most wholesome character, and she is the daughter of Stannis the Manus, I biasly put her in A. That is why. I don't know. You're old? Well, good for you. I don't know. Well, Liam can officially simp for book Sansa. Yeah, he can. Legally, he can. Best couple is Rickon and Osha. Oh, okay. All right. Cold Hands and Ellie. Okay. Well, we've gone back into getting a little dark again. We're teetering that edge again. Shireen is going to make A, it seems. It's pretty close, but she is going to get A. I'm proud of you guys. Dude, you know what's getting like we have a lot of characters when I have to scroll down to put a character in A? Roose Bolton, another one of the best villains of the entire book series. What do y'all think about Roose? I think A, but I think there's a slight argument for S. Citro, I think the couple thing has we've been derailing for a long time. I'm more of an Elena Stone guy. Oh no, Liam. Well, older. I'm 41 since you're not that old. Stop your nonsense. You're not that old then. 41. Griffin, you're not even that old. Rickon is 4, my guy. That's true. Best couple, White Walkers and White Walker, Ygritte and Jon. Dany and the Bells. Glossy. No. I don't know. I'm just gonna look away from chat. I hate Roose with a passion, but as a villain, I love him. Agreed, Liz. Agreed. Loras and Renly, they're a solid couple, except Loras is the reason Renly didn't back Stannis for a lot of reasons. So no. Holy. Miranda is better than Elaine. I won't comment on that since they're. Well, Elaine is fairly young, so we're not going to comment on that. Danny and the Bells. I can't get over that comment. I don't want to be reminded of Danny and the Bells. No. Billy Bob, it's time to stop. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. I can agree with you on that one, Matthew. Do we think Ramsay will kill Roose in the books, or will Roose be too smart for it? I think Roose is going to be too smart for it. Everything we've been given, I don't see a way Ramsay will kill Roose like that. Anyway. Okay, so we're putting Roose in A at a solid 69%. I can get behind that. All right. The Magner. Where are we putting Magner? Magner of Thens. Where are we putting him? Not a big character by any means, and not a hugely impactful one, but yeah. Young Wolf, did you say she is flowered? All right, you on my radar now. You on my radar. All right, you're saying some sus things this stream. Did I miss something, Liz? Just be glad you missed it. Yeah, Young Wolf, you retract that message. I saw it before you retracted it. You retract that nonsense. I thought that Renly didn't back Stannis simply because Renly didn't care about Stannis. Well, I think there's that, but I think the Tyrells heavily, especially Loras, were kind of plotting and kind of putting those seeds into Stannis' mind. Why was 1-1? Okay. You know what? We're just gonna. He felt some kind of way for Jon. That's the answer. Mag the Mighty and Danelle, Noi best couple. People who read the book seem to be Team Stannis. I dislike Stannis horribly. He was probably top 5 least favorite character. You better be careful with your words on this stream, okay? Because those are words that will lead you down a dark path in this community. I will say though, in the show, I can see why you dislike him. What the fuck were the Thens in the show? They were just not even close to what the I was saying book 3, Magnar, Billy Bob. Not a compelling character, but bonus points because he's earless. Fair. Yeah, they changed the Thens of this show. We're going off of book 3, Magnar. Book 3, not book 5. Agreed, Billy Bob. No Stannis slander. Agreed, Liz. You tell him. Fucking heretic. You know what? I'll be honest. I don't like either one of the Thens. You know, Sighorn or Steer. But whichever one you guys want to rank, we'll just whatever. I mean, they're not bad, but they're just not. They're just kind of whatever. They're just there. I told you that comment is gonna get you hate here, but in the show I can definitely see why you wouldn't like him. He was a lot different in the show. No, seriously, in the books, Jon never gets told Ben was back. One woman was ripping a man in half, and Jon came over to see. Yeah, I know. I would assume there was some like thing where maybe someone was trying to disrupt him to cause like this commotion where Jon comes over, and then yeah, we know what happens after that. That's what I would assume. Okay, he's going in C. Right there next to Rickon. We'll put him next to Rickon. Rickon and Maester Pycelle, best couple. Oh boy. I don't remember what the Iron Banks dude's name was, so we're just gonna say the Iron Bank dude. We'll just say that. Iron Bank dude. It starts with a T, doesn't it? I just can't remember what his name is. Is it Tycho? Is that what it is? Tycho? Or something like that? Jane, Poole, and Beric Dondarrion, best couple. The couple we never got to see. Because the bald knight decided to fuck with 1-1 and 1-1 Hulk smashed him. That is true. That is also true. Yes. Okay. What you said there is yes. Your only reference is a show. That's okay because the show did him dirty. I still think he's a solid character in the show, but he's definitely not great. I like how you guys knock on it. I just be like, Iron Bank dude. But yeah, no, Tycho, it was the dude's name. Agreed, Citro, agreed. I think Tycho is a pretty forgettable character. I think putting him in D is where I'd put him. Like, he's not even really a character for the most part. But it seems like you guys are putting him in C, which I guess I'm fine with. Oh my god, Liam, we can't say this. Liam, are you okay? Who hurt you? We can't be doing things like that. So, Tycho is going to go into C. We have another C. We're not ending out the stream strong with some of these characters, it would seem. We have Tommen now. Oh, I almost typed that in chat for some reason. Tommen. What are we thinking about Tommen? Hold on. There is the poll. What do you guys think of Tommen? You like Tommen? You hate Tommen? I always forget Tycho's name because A, he's such a forgettable character, and 2, there's so many T names. Brienne and the... Oh my god, we need to stop. He was also done dirty in the show. Literally backed Cersei for slavery. Like, what the... Yeah. Yeah. Not what you like to see. I think a solid B for Tommen's where I'd put him. You guys seem like you're agreeing, and I think that's a solid spot for young Tommen. Not as big of a character as he was in the show because, again, Tommen's younger in the books, but yeah. Tommen is okay. I agree. I think Tommen's just okay. He's not terrible, but... You know what? Billy Bob, that's fair. Agreed, Quincy. I have that conversation every single time that plot starts. Loras and Dragons. Oh, no. Liam, you just need to stop. Arya can't wait for him. Tommen sounds cute, but he bores me. He's so young. This is true. Best couple. Tommen, thank you. Very wholesome. That is the best couple. All right, we are going to give Tommen the good old B. All right, Jaime Lannister, another top-tier character. Don't really know if I need to do this poll, really. But, Jaime. What are your guys' thoughts on Jaime? Where does he belong? Tommen's dad. What do we think about Tommen's dad? Think about all history, we'll think he approved Cersei's madness because he stamped everything. What? Wait. Did I miss something? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I get you what you're saying now, Young Wolf. I get it. That's true. That is true. That makes sense, Young Wolf. I struggle with what it meant there for a second. Agreed, Liberty. Especially when, like, if you look at how yeah, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. But yep. Jaime easy S. I agree. Jaime solid B because if he ended up like show Jaime, I'll be pissed. But wait, so you're putting Jaime in B because of the potential that the show did in the books that he could be a B. What? What? He belongs in... Oh my god, we gotta stop. Jaime would pick his hand over Joffrey, agreed. Tommen is a Baratheon? I don't think so. I don't think so, Matthew. All right. Jamie, moving straight to S tier. 2 of you voted for A and B, and you're outside of your minds. Billy Bob was 1. He was on the good stuff tonight. But yeah. Syrio. I don't want you all memeing, okay? Syrio was in not one. He was like in like a couple chapters. He's a great character and all, but like, I swear, if y'all start memeing with Syrio, I'm gonna lose my mind. My friend also keeps asking, so when's Syrio gonna come back? I'm just like, that because we're like getting towards the end of the show, and he's like, yeah, where's Syrio? Is he part of like the Faceless Men or something like that? And I'm just like, James is a fantastic kid. I started off by hating him, but I loved him to death by the end of the book. Stark is amazing. I love how he leaves Cersei. Agreed. Same list. What'd List say? Am I missing something? Well, Glossy agrees with you. I don't see List's comment, but no. List, what is your no on? Yes, and people put Qyburn in fucking B. Hey, man. Is Locke gonna be Vargo Hoat? Probably not. Syrio solid C for dying to Marin fucking Trant. That's fair. That's fair. I can see that. You guys have Syrio and Matthew, you want to get banned? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking, but those are treasonous words you're saying in this chat. Really gonna put Syrio in A, huh? Really? I know he's very impactful into Arya's story, but really, we're putting him in A. Well, he could have beaten Marin fucking Trant. Syrio is Arthur Dane. Oh no, we gotta stop some of this. Oh no, like what? Okay, I'm ending the poll, but y'all really gonna tell me you think Syrio Farrell is better than the Sand Snakes, Randall Tarley, the Reeds, Marjorie's in B. Let's not forget Marjorie is in B on the same tier. Or sorry, Syrio is ahead of Marjorie. I don't know about that one, guys. I think we missed. I think we had a whiff. Where would I put him? Probably B. Like, I'd probably put him B. I'd probably put B or C. He's not very, like, his only real impact is, like, he kind of kickstarts Arya's journey, and she has a lot of his teachings. Like, he's not, I don't know. I'd probably put him in B. Marjorie, people voted on Marjorie being in B, Glossy. That's all I'm going to say. All right, we're moving on. Everybody's favorite Targaryen, Viserys. You know, everybody loves this guy. He's just an absolute prick, and everybody loves him, you know? Is Viserys Rhaegar? Oh. The Green Goblin, you're so bad at making tier lists. Hey, Liam. I haven't voted in any of these. Okay? So, who's the bad ones really here? I've done my best to reorganize. Like the Mountain, it astronomically hated my guts to see this character in A, so I kind of did a revote thing because I knew it was going to be different. So, that's all I'm going to say. The one part I will say about me making bad tier lists is because I'm going to be honest. Don't feel like spending like 12 hours just putting faces into a tier list when we can achieve the same thing just using the Game of Thrones faces. So, you moved the Mountain and Mord. That is correct. The Mountain, we did a revote. He went down. And then Mord, I just manually put in D because he should not be on the same level as some of these other characters. Viserys is a great villain, to be honest. Harry Lloyd's performance as him in the show felt like one of the most yeah, that was faithful. Y'all got Viserys an A? Why? Why? Y'all are getting a little drunk now. I think y'all started trolling. Viserys is like a fine villain and all, but like he's there for like a little bit of time. He's not the most interesting character in the world. Like, I don't remember voting for Ed Sheeran because we didn't, because he's just in the bottom, because he's not on the show or on the books. Rhaegar Baratheon's true god is the gods of tits and wine. That's correct. This is a troll. This is just a troll. I don't. He had a crown of. I mean. Okay, we're gonna have a revote. We're having a revote. No, we're not having a revote. Y'all really about to put Viserys in A? Okay, I guess he's going in A. I feel very reluctant to put him in A. Why is my message not showing up? Who is silencing me? I do not know, Glossy. I personally haven't seen some of your messages for some reason. The last message I saw was the Marjorie one. Mods, if you're silencing Glossy, don't do that. For whatever reason. Faithless men and women are the best. Okay. Viserys is a Chad. Okay. All right. We're just gonna move on to the next one. Dantos. Where do we have Dantos? Yes, I agree, Citro. I agree. Mountain Gregor Clegane silencing you, Glossy. God, I hope not. I will say, Glossy, I don't know why YouTube does this sometimes, where depending on the language you use, it might mute your comments for that. I know that when I for some reason was in streams when I was watching one of my friends, certain languages isn't used on YouTube, and there's nothing I can do about it, which doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know if that's it or if it's just something else. Maybe. I don't know, but hopefully Glossy, I don't know. I don't know. You can try reloading the stream. That might help it. I don't know. Best last words, burn them all, Eris. Hey, those are some hell of words to go out on. I won't lie. You guys have Dantos in C at the moment, and I'm cool with that. Dantos into C. I might have put him in D, honestly, but I'm okay with that. All right, Lancel. What do you guys think about Lancel? I think we're hitting a lot of dud characters now. We had like a really good, like solid B and up characters. Now we're hitting a lot of duds. We need a poll for the hottest women in Westeros and Essos. Maybe. I was fully expecting Zordanos to die the way he did. Yep. I said best. Poor Dantos. Dude got screwed over. Fair. I mean, come on. You work with Littlefinger, that's just what happens. I like Lancel in book 2. Yeah, I think he saw it in book 2. You guys are very split on this one. Very split. So right now we're having it at B. I'm going to let it go for maybe a little longer since you guys are so divided on this one, but solid Alabama B. Yes, so Glossy. Cuss words are really weird on this on YouTube. I don't know. Like sometimes they'll allow it. Like I think we saw earlier, like shit was used. I don't know if fuck was used or not, but I know that they're really weird on that. But yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about YouTube over things like Twitch. Twitch is very good on just kind of letting people kind of talk for the most part. Dude, the fact that it's almost A. It's 21% for A. For Lancel. Like, it's a good thing we're getting close to when I'm probably going to end the stream, which is 9 o'clock. Or 20 minutes from now. But some of y'all need to stop about the alcohol. We got to stop. Also, I will say, if anyone's in the stream or whatever, and you're trying to start a channel or whatever, how the hell is Billy Bob able to say that comment, but then Glossy is getting... This is what I'm saying, bro. Sometimes I just don't understand YouTube. Because I had the same problem as Glossy had. I've had that before. Right now, it's tied between B and C, so I'm going to make the executive decision. I am going to put Lancel in B. I think he's fine. He's going to go in B. That is the executive decision. I have no idea why they're silencing you, Glossy. Gonna be completely honest. Maybe it's because you started the worst couple one. Maybe that's why. Hot Pie. The GOAT Hot Pie himself. Okay, I know Hot Pie is a great meme and all, but I swear, if y'all start tripping out, dude, I know YouTube's weird about that stuff. Okay, so sorry, I got off topic. So if you're ever starting a channel, and especially if you're doing gaming or anything like that, always start on YouTube. Always start on YouTube. Twitch is the worst, and I mean the worst when it comes to discoverability, right? If you're going into YouTube, or not YouTube, if you're going into like Twitch, it's going to be almost impossible to find your channel unless you're playing a game that's either dead or is very like, there's a limited amount of streamers for a game that has a lot of viewership. So that, for one thing, is really difficult. Two, Twitch does a horrible job of giving you content that you can do that like stays on the channel and like people can view and find your content 24 hours, which is something that's really good about YouTube. You don't have to be live on YouTube for someone to find your channel. Your live streams will stay up. People can find them on the recommended. So if you're going to ever start a channel, do YouTube first. And then if you really want to do a Twitch, because Twitch is better for streaming. Twitch is way better for streaming, and Twitch is better for certain things, then go to Twitch. You take your YouTube audience, try to go to Twitch, and then hopefully if you get like an audience, like say our audience here, we'd have a little bit of viewers or whatever, to where we would make it over a lot of the people that are just trying to start on Twitch. That's my knowledge for you guys if you're ever going to start trying to stream. Maybe Matthew, maybe on the silencing thing. Maybe he's, oh my god, we have Hot Pie and S. What is going on? Agreed, Matthew, on the hypocritical stuff as well. I love how Glossy is in the chat trying to figure out what she can say. This is funny as hell. Try typing Bastard. I do laugh when Yoren is escorting the people through the Riverlands and they are attacking. Arya yells Winterfell and Hot Pie yells Hot Pie. Hot Pie and Cersei best couple, yeah. I think that's good advice. Yeah, it's something, Liz, that I wish I would have known because I've done both. So I started, like, you guys might not know this, but I've been streaming since doing YouTube for almost 2 years now. And I will say, if I look at the time that I was on Twitch, the amount of new viewers that probably saw my stream was very limited, especially on like a day-to-day basis. Like, I would stream. When I tell you guys I streamed 6 days a week for probably 2 to 3 hours every night, I did. And I can tell you my growth was horrible. And then, so basically I started doing research and stuff like that. So then I was doing a gaming channel. I then moved my Twitch stuff to my YouTube, and I started focusing on YouTube. And then I first started trying to upload videos on YouTube based upon streams on Twitch. And for a while I did that. It didn't really grow that much. I think at most on my gaming channel, I think I ever got was like 370 subscribers. And that was in almost a year of having a YouTube channel. So when you compare that to then this channel, which was completely fresh on what the idea was, because another thing I will say with YouTube, if you try to switch what you're doing, if you try to do like, say something like this, it's like more of a talking discussion type thing with books and stuff like that and all that and TV shows, media, and you try to go to something like gaming, it's never going to happen because YouTube kind of already puts you in a corner of people it thinks it's going to like your content and that genre of like entertainment and stuff like that, that you are never going to ever get, like anywhere. How do you people even get big on Twitch? So, Liz, if you look at most of the people that get big on Twitch, a lot of them either stream on Twitch and then they upload videos on YouTube. And then most of the people on YouTube, because they're plugging the Twitch, a lot of the gameplay is coming from Twitch, they'll carry over to Twitch. And then eventually, once you get an audience, when you play games, you'll be higher up on the recommended. So the whole idea is you can never do Twitch alone. You will never get big. And a lot of the people that are big on Twitch started when Twitch was a lot younger and it wasn't as saturated. But yeah, that's mainly how people got big on Twitch. All right, away from that stuff. Even though I love talking about this stuff, I could talk about that stuff forever. That stuff's so fun to talk about. Okay, I'll be using biatch from now on because even if you type it with spaces, because between the letters it doesn't work. Glossy. You gotta report YouTube. We're putting hot pie in S. I think we've had a lot of questionable decisions in this one, especially the back end, the last hour. But yeah. Okay, so moving on, we have Tywin, the goat. Tywin. This should be an easy S. Admin Gold is big on Twitch. He gets more watchers on his YouTube chat or YouTube clips. Yep. YouTube, I think, is better for getting more viewers to like your content or watch you more. Twitch is better for entertainment for the people you already have, is how I will look at that. So if you're ever trying to start like in that idea, just know if you start on Twitch, Twitch is not the place you go to gain viewers. Twitch is the place you go to kind of retain people because it is a lot easier and it is a lot better when it comes to the streaming platform than YouTube is. YouTube is like getting better at streaming, but YouTube is way more focused on content that is in video style or clips in that idea. Most of the top streamers know each other now, and the networking is a big. That's another thing. That's another thing with streaming is streaming with like people, especially when you get an audience. Like just streaming with other people is a really big thing. Hot pie S tier, only right answers. y'all are. I don't know. I'm okay with hot pie and S just for the memes, but. All right, we're gonna put Tywin in S. We're not gonna linger too much because I think this is an obvious one. Okay, I can't even reach the S tier anymore. I have to like put them in tiers to get to the S tier. All right, we're moving on to Loras. This is a character didn't have as big of a role in the books because, again, they removed a lot of the Tyrells, like the brothers of Marjorie, whether that be Garland and Willis. They kind of all combined it into one, and that's why Loras has more screen time kind of in the show. But yeah, what do you guys think about Loras? What are your guys' thoughts? We still have 2 of the remaining 5 kings with Robb and Renly down there, and we have 3. Okay, so we still haven't done most of the 5 kings. Jaqen Bywater, best character, fair. I love her. Great comments, Citro. We love to see that. You guys are thinking C for Loras. All right. I can get behind that. All right. I think I would put Loras in B, but I can also see C as well. Solid C literally, or Solid C dumbass literally gets both. I love that Billy Bob can just be like, Solid C dumbass, but then we can't even say bitch in this chat. Glossy's struggling to use any words right now. YouTube's just like, you thought you were typing in the chat. Are you gonna include Willis and Garland in this list? I don't have a picture for them, but maybe. I think after all the characters are done, I'll consider us just doing some polls in chat of the characters that aren't on the list, so we know where we would have them if they were on here. People like Young Griff, John Con, Stoneheart, if you want to just go that way. But yeah, I would consider it. Doing it like maybe the last stream or a bonus stream to this one. I don't know how you see Jacelyn did died heroically. This is correct. If I'm silent for a while, you know why. Yeah, I know. Glossy, you will now be the female version of Ill and Pain in this chat. You can only use emojis from now on. Agreed, Liberty Stack, I agree. I kind of agree. I agree. Loras is tied for A and B right now. Okay. What do you guys think here? It looks like he's going to be B, so let's go with B. I think that's a solid part. Possibly I could do that as well, Young Look. I could possibly do that as well. I'm not sure. Not sure yet. All right. We are gonna finish this stream probably on Lyanna, I think. But Littlefinger, nice character to kind of end on. I think this is another obvious one, or not end on, but one of the last ones to end on. Pretty obvious, I think. Boo. Well, I don't know. I think Loras, he's not a main character within the book series, really. I don't think putting him in A with characters that are POVs and are much more major characters, I don't know. This be Glossy in chat right now. Trying to talk. Grand Maester Pycelle Reed? Maybe. Maybe. How little is his finger? You know, maybe we'll find out. Maybe Littlefinger tries to do some things to Elaine, and we'll figure out how little that finger is. Glossy. Love to see that. I'm interested to see where you guys are gonna put Lyanna. That is a very interesting one. Where's the Mother of Dragons? Don't you worry, she's right there up in S tier, right there. This is actually, by the way, I just want to point this out for anyone that doesn't know. These are not ranked, by the way. Like, they're just in S tier. They're not in any order. They're just in S. How are you, Tails? How are you? Whoa, Grease what? What'd I do, Liberty? What'd I do? Oh, yeah, I know. Never mind. Hey, it would be a little finger type thing to do. You can't lie to me. Let's end on Lyanna. Yeah, we're ending on Lyanna. By the way, we are going to make this Vargo Hoat. Right here, this is Vargo Hoat. I know you're happy about that. I know you're one of the, I'd say you're the biggest Daenerys supporter on the channel. You have to be. Fuck off. You know what? You guys need to fuck off. You know what you were talking about when you said his finger. But if you guys want to ask, you see, what you see is the prologue of A Winds of Winter. We're going to start out with Littlefinger, and he's going to be actually measuring his finger so that he's going to get like a little statue done so that we know what his actual finger size is. And that is how we eventually get to know how big his finger is. Edric Dane and Arya Stark, best couple? Maybe. Oh boy, y'all gonna hate my Lyanna take. Citro, solid. She should be on a hill somewhere with the sun and the clouds above her. Whoa, Glossy, too much talking. Mods, we gotta mute her. Hold on, she's saying too many. She's saying too many words. Hold on. We gotta silence that. Only emojis in this chat. Oh boy. Elena Stoner. All right, we're putting Littlefinger in S. Love to see that. Again, I can't even get to S anymore. I have to scroll. Not what you like to see. I'll say it when it comes to the poll. Okay, this is going to be Vargo Hoat. Where is Vargo Hoat? The goat himself. The dab. I will never be silenced. You win this time, Glossy. You win this time. All right, Vargo Hoat. Where do you guys think? Vargo Hoat. Why did I put S? I should have put D down here. I don't know. Just knowing how this night's going to go, I don't think Vargo Hoat's going to be in D. Ellen Payne probably thought that too. Yeah, you keep it up, Glossy. Next time you enter the chat, you're just going to get... I'm just going to have, like, I'm going to moderate one person to specifically make sure you're not allowed to talk in chat. Vargo Hoat should have been in the show. Yes, I agree. That would have been so funny to see in, like, an actual show. Or on screen. LF only sees... Yeah, agreed. Citro. Hey, he's speaking facts, Glossy, okay? Speaking facts. Solid S tier literally gets his arms and legs chopped off and fed goat for his last meal. What a Chad. Nah, he's definitely like... I'd probably put him C or B. One of the two. I'm okay with either one. Y'all scared me because we had a couple votes for S. All right, we're gonna go with B tier here. B tier, bam, right in there. Lyanna is going to be the last one for the stream. Let us know, what is your Lyanna opinions? Okay, Liam, we gotta calm down, my guy. We need to calm down. All right, we can't be saying things like this. I don't have a positive or favorable opinion on Lyanna. Fair. Feed his manhood to the goats. Yes. Yes, Lord Tyrion. It will be done. Citro. Yeah, I would agree. I think y'all need to stay home, you know, get an Uber if you gotta go somewhere. You know, we just don't be driving or anything. We are going to have a rough start to next stream. I'm just looking at, like, the next characters that we have to do. It's going to be a rough one. There's not a bunch of, like... Lyanna, a dude confirmed, yeah. Agreed. 100%. Y'all be saying Lyanna is mid. All right. I'm fair. That's fair. That's fair. I can see it. I don't think she's a top tier character. I think she has a heavy impact on the story. But we don't have goats. We'll make do. There you go. I finished it for you. But yeah, no, I think she doesn't have enough screen time. And yeah, so she has a high impact, but again, not crazy. I think B, maybe low A is fine for her. Y'all are saying B, pretty resounding, about 50%. So we're going to go ahead and put her in B. So this is part 4, I think. Is this part 4? Or is this part 3? This is part 3, I think. Okay, so part 3. This is what you guys have decided. Maybe next stream we'll re-look at some of these. Cough Viserys. Cough cereal. But I think for the most part, solid list. And yeah, thank you guys for all joining the stream. It was a great one as always. We got dark in this one. Yeah, we just got dark in this one. But yeah. Lyanna is overrated in the books with people who talk about her. That is true. A bit chaotic. Can't speak. A bit chaotic, but another fun stream. As always, a fun stream. They're always chaotic. We do weird things here. Thank you guys all for joining and participating. And I will see you guys probably Monday or Wednesday next week. That'll probably be part 4.